Did you know that your body gives signals a month or even a few days before you have a stroke? These signals are often subtle and can be easily overlooked. Strokes are undoubtedly one of the biggest causes of death in the world, affecting millions of people each year. The strangest part of a stroke is that although the symptoms usually develop quickly, it can take hours or even days for a person to realize that something is wrong. This delay can be critical. A stroke is a medical emergency because the blood that your heart is pumping is failing to reach a part of your brain. This interruption in blood flow can cause severe damage. That area of the brain will be starved of oxygen and nutrients, killing thousands of neurons per second. The longer the brain goes without oxygen, the more extensive the damage. For some reason, cardiovascular diseases are increasing worldwide, especially among young people. This trend is alarming and calls for immediate attention. There are some warnings that you should never ignore, no matter how insignificant they may seem. Early detection can save lives. Many signs that occur a month before are subtle, and many people ignore or confuse them with something else. This confusion can lead to dangerous delays in seeking treatment. The most important thing is that you know how to recognize them. Awareness is the first step towards prevention. If you feel any of these signs that you are going to see in this video, see a doctor as soon as possible, because they could be signs that a stroke is about to happen. Early intervention can make a significant difference. Today, you will find out the 7 signs that your body gives a month before a stroke. These signs are crucial for early detection and prevention, and how to prevent this disease and get rid of this terrible statistic. By understanding these signs and taking proactive steps, you can protect yourself and your loved ones from the devastating effects of a stroke. The first sign you might experience a month before a stroke is persistently high blood pressure. This is a critical warning sign that should never be ignored. If your blood pressure is not well controlled, it can greatly increase the risk of a stroke. High blood pressure, also known as hypertension, is often called the silent killer because it can cause significant damage without any obvious symptoms. Blood pressure is the force of blood against the walls of our arteries. It is measured in millimeters of mercury, mmHg, and is recorded with 2 numbers, systolic pressure over diastolic pressure. If this pressure is high, it is called high blood pressure. Consistently high readings can indicate that your heart is working too hard to pump blood through your body. This high pressure can damage blood vessels, and over time, it can cause them to become narrower, weaker, and even rupture. This damage can lead to serious health problems, including heart disease and stroke. If a blood vessel in the brain ruptures due to high blood pressure, bleeding can occur, resulting in a hemorrhagic stroke. This type of stroke is particularly dangerous and can lead to severe brain damage or death. If high blood pressure damages the arteries that supply blood to your brain, it can reduce blood flow and blockage and lead to an ischemic stroke. This is the most common type of stroke and can cause long-term disability. That's how important it is to know if you are hypertensive, and if you are hypertensive, to treat it appropriately. Regular monitoring and management of your blood pressure can prevent these severe outcomes. Make a lifestyle change and take your medications correctly to control your blood pressure. Regular physical activity, a healthy diet, and adherence to prescribed medications are key to managing hypertension. This is essential to reduce the risk of stroke and other cardiovascular diseases. By taking proactive steps, you can protect your health and improve your quality of life. The second sign to be aware of is excessive fatigue. Excessive fatigue or extreme tiredness can be a significant symptom or warning sign before a stroke. This type of fatigue is not just about feeling a bit tired after a long day, it's a profound sense of exhaustion that doesn't go away with rest. Remember that fatigue can also have other causes, such as stress, lack of sleep, or other medical conditions like anemia or thyroid problems. However, the fatigue related to stroke is intense and causes persistent tiredness, which may be atypical for you and is unrelated to physical exertion or lack of sleep. It's a kind of tiredness that feels overwhelming and unshakable. For example, excessive tiredness may be related to changes in blood flow to the brain. When the brain doesn't get enough oxygen-rich blood, it can lead to feelings of extreme fatigue. This could be caused by a narrowing of an artery due to atherosclerosis or a possible clot that interferes with the supply of oxygen. Atherosclerosis is the buildup of fats, cholesterol, and other substances in and on the artery walls, which can restrict blood flow. So if you are feeling unusually tired, it's crucial to see a doctor to be well evaluated. Early detection and treatment can make a significant difference. Sometimes extreme fatigue can precede a transient ischemic attack, also known as a mini-stroke. This is a warning that there is a temporary problem with the blood supply to the brain, and it should not be ignored. A transient ischemic attack is a transient condition that can be an indication that a stroke is about to happen. It's like a red flag that your body is waving to get your attention. The symptoms are temporary, usually lasting a few minutes to a few hours, without causing permanent damage to the brain. However, they are a serious warning sign. Generally, an artery in the brain is blocked, but in less than 24 hours, the body itself manages to dissolve the clot in the brain, and the patient no longer has symptoms. This self-resolution can be misleading, making one think everything is fine. But this is a strong indication that a stroke is about to happen to you. It's a critical warning that should prompt immediate medical attention to prevent a full-blown stroke. The third sign is vision problems. If you have any sudden vision changes, it could be a warning sign of a stroke. Blurred vision, double vision, eye problems, and difficulty focusing may also be signs of brain circulatory damage. When vision loss occurs, it may be due to a blockage in one of the arteries that supply blood to the eye. Of course, there are other causes of vision problems. Even so, don't stop investigating what is happening. Chapter 4. Numbness or weakness in the extremities. The fourth sign is numbness or weakness in the extremities. Numbness or weakness in the extremities, especially on one side of the body, can be a warning sign before a stroke. This sudden numbness or weakness usually occurs in one part of the body, such as the arm or leg or one side of the face. One side of the body may lose sensation. These symptoms usually only last a few minutes or hours, but they should never be ignored. Even if it is not a stroke, it could be a neurological problem that should always be investigated. Chapter 5. Speech problems. The fifth sign is speech problems. A person who is about to have a stroke may have sudden difficulty speaking. The speech may be slurred, and the person may have trouble saying the words or providing complete sentences. This is called aphasia, which is the difficulty in understanding, formulating, or expressing speech. Chapter 6. Sudden and intense headache. The sixth sign is a sudden and intense headache. A sudden headache may precede a stroke. It is important to note that not all headaches are related to strokes and that not all strokes are preceded by a headache. In an ischemic stroke, a headache occurs due to the obstruction of blood flow to the brain. These pains, when they occur, are described as severe and sudden. In a hemorrhagic stroke, which occurs when there is bleeding in the brain, the headaches are also intense and occur due to the bleeding. This type of headache is often described as the most painful. Sometimes a severe headache can be a sign that an aneurysm is about to rupture in the brain. This is another thing to always keep an eye on. Chapter 7. Other neurological symptoms. The seventh sign is other neurological symptoms. A person who is about to have a stroke, whether hemorrhagic or ischemic, may have other neurological symptoms. Memory problems, loss of balance, nausea, and vomiting may also be earlier indicators. In other words, they may appear a few days or weeks before brain closure. However, several other differential diagnostic problems also cause similar symptoms. People with seizures, hypoglycemia, encephalitis, brain tumors, anxiety attacks, and infections in the central nervous system may have these symptoms. So always look for a good doctor to be well evaluated. Now you know that interrupted blood flow can put you one step away from suffering a stroke. Other risk factors that can cause a stroke are alcohol and drug abuse, obesity, an unhealthy diet, depression, anxiety, and a sedentary lifestyle. All these factors trigger specific processes in your body that can result in a stroke. In fact, strokes don't always show any symptoms before they happen. That's why prevention is essential. Control your blood pressure, maintain your blood glucose levels normally, exercise regularly for at least 150 minutes a week, eat fresh, healthy foods, avoid processed foods, sugar, and excessive saturated fat, control your cholesterol, and keep your checkups up to date with your cardiologist. These actions will prevent you from having a possible stroke in the future. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. You can also encourage others to take care of their brain by sharing the video. See you next time.